Welcome to Gingerlocks episode 21. I'm going to do Elite Purge the Fallen Shrine. So I'm level 13 now. I was level 9 in my last video, so I didn't intend to go 4 levels before doing a video, but these last 4 levels have been a blur with, Necro 2, Shadow Crypt, Tempest Spine, Von 5-6, and then U27 just came out yesterday. So, here I am. Let's talk about enhancements first. So I'm splitting myself a lot differently than I originally thought I was going to, because I wanted to think critically about what would be best. And there's some really nice things in the Tainted Scholar tree that can help both the other trees. I mean, you've got the pack damage, which is awesome. This is really cool. The Feigned Health is a nice sort of low maintenance, lower level healing. And I thought I would work up the Utter Dark Blast all the way up to Penetrating Blast to change my force damage to untyped damage, and you get an additional plus 1d6 base Eldritch Blast damage too. But what was really cool here is by spending 20 points in the tree, I can pick up Death Ward as a spell, and that's really awesome. That's able to free up my next slot, and Death Ward's such an awesome spell. So that was part of the reason I wanted to spend some more points, but there's lots of other goodies in here too. So I'm gonna work up to Penetrating Blast. I don't know if I'll do Bewitching Blast. Maybe I will take the next tier of Strong Pack, probably take another point of Charisma. And then, so I don't have any of my tier 5s yet. I should have, I leveled right at level 12. I jumped into them on my other 2 lives, but I'm here. I'm not really that excited about anything here. I heard the wave is really cool, so hopefully next video I'll be able to talk about that. This is increasing Consume and Stricken damage, but I don't use those spells a whole lot. Feed on Magic. This is pretty cool. Attacking with your Eldritch Blast or melee or ranged gives you 10% chance to proc 10 temporary spell points. I misread that earlier. I thought it was hit points. So actually that is not... What the heck do I need spell points for as a Warlock? That's pretty lame, actually. Spell tiering, it's this 3% chance to critically hit with your Eldritch Blast, so spells and Eldritch Blast. So I definitely get that, and then the SLA, a Finger of Death, will be fun, so I'll just pick that up, but that'll be low priority for me. Going to look at gearing here. So Goggles of Concordant Opposition, that's the same as all my other lives, and I used this in my last life. Fakecraft Leather of Greater Warding. These Greater Warding armors and shields no longer available, sadly, but I just think they're totally awesome. The Festival Glaciation on there is just from the Midwinter Festival, so that it didn't come like that. And then if you're newer to the game, the Tiny Guild Augment slot is a system that's no longer... Well, they're no longer supporting it. They're no longer coming out with new items with guild slots on them, but there's still augments that are available in House K that you can fill those up with, but there's not really anything that I want to put in a tiny slot. I could get like +1 to a skill or plus 20 spell points. I think plus some hit points, but they don't stack with nuke ship buffs, so I'm not even bothering. Braces of Wind, this is the same as my last 2 lives. Got Dodge and Blurry. And Ring of Greater False Life. Got the Rock Boots up to the level 11 version. I was really tempted to upgrade them to tier 2 because they come with the tier 2 version has immunity to slippery surfaces. So that was really attractive. But that's going to be on the level 15 version anyways, and I didn't want to spend extra resources here because I'm probably never going to use these again. And I can live without immunity to slippery surfaces for 4 levels. On the gloves, got Strength 6, Kinetic Lore 14%. Oh, that should be on level 13 now. I should have recrafted this to something a little bit better. In any event, it is what it is. And Radiance 42. That's a strange combination, and I'll show you why in a second. Health 6 on the belt. Cloak of Flames, doing a little fire damage with my Burning Blood, although I haven't been using it, so this may be a waste. It's got fire absorption, Heighten Awareness 2. So it's not a bad item. It's not like I have anything stellar to put there anyways at this level. Shard of Power with Feather Falling and Good Luck +2. Charisma 6 on the necklace. Green Steel 45 hit point Mineral 2 helmet. +3 Densewood Shield of Invulnerability. Next level this will change over to Fanion. I've got this slotted up with Heavy Fort, which is pointless because my Green Steel helmet has Heavy Fort on it. So this is not an optimal choice either. So that should be like +5 of Invulnerability without the blue slot. It's not really causing me any distress. So this is why the ring had sort of a weird combination on it, because I have the opposite ones on the scepter, which is a scepter that I showed briefly in the last video. It's got Impulse 60 and Radiance Lore 13% on it. So I have the complementing abilities on the ring. I haven't really talked about feats a whole lot in this series, but I keep forgetting to mention that an awesome feat, and if you played with other charisma-based tunes before, you probably already know about it, but just in case, Force of Personality adds your charisma modifier to your will saves instead of your wisdom modifier. So this can give you some really nice will saves, which is awesome for avoiding hold monster and all kinds of mental effects. So really, I highly recommend this for any warlock. You're not all warlocks are gonna be able to fit it in, and it may not make sense for every last warlock build, but by and large, warlocks should probably have this. So this quest is super easy, super fast, and definitely should be part of your regular routine. And a lot of people skip these walk-ups out in the sands. A lot of people are just doing the flagging quests and aren't doing like Purge the Fallen Shrine and Raid the Valkyrum and Maraud the Mines. But they're all really fast and are pretty good XP considering the amount of time that it takes to do them. And what's cool about this one, I mean, you could do this quest in literally like 2 minutes or less, because you just drag all the mobs. You just kiting everything and then blowing them up. Like when I'm in here on my druid, you just kite a bunch of mobs, throw Ice Storm, and it just obliterates them. Another thing since my last video, I think in my last video I said, I think I like the spray or the cone shape better than the chain. Well, I've definitely, have grown quite fond of the cone shape since then. I definitely like it better than the chain. It just took a little while to get sort of used to it, and where it hits, it has a really long range, a surprisingly long range that does not at all match the graphic that you see. It almost seems like it shoots as far as the regular Eldritch Blast. It's not quite as far, but almost. I've seen it hit mobs pretty far away. But what it doesn't do, and that's basically straight ahead of you. So I just want to show you. I'm going to hold down the attack button here. You see it's a cone shape, so it's kind of going out like this. And the distance that it hits far is more out in front of you. So it doesn't seem like a true cone in that it doesn't like stretch way out to the side like you would think a cone would. It just sort of like is a wide path in front of you. But once you get used to it, it's a lot of fun. I think it's way better than the chain shape. The chain shape, is so sexy that it's, I don't know, a little falsely alluring, I think. But it looks cool as hell. Another one of the things, too, I think I forgot to mention is I've turned off auto attack. Or not auto attack, excuse me, auto targeting. Because, if I have a mob targeted and then I'm not facing it, it just doesn't want to shoot my Eldritch Blast, and that became really irritating. So I turned it off. So I only got 6 more levels of this, and then the whole thing is done. I'm gonna go back to Druid. I don't even know if I'm gonna do my Druid life next or do Voodoo as a Warlock, because I'm really excited to change Voodoo into a Warlock. Now with U27, if I didn't mention this before, they did attenuate some of the ability of the Enlightened Spirit, and that is the bursts now scale with 120% of spell power instead of 150. So they brought that down a little bit. I suspect it'll still be very powerful, and I always forget the name of it. The ability that gives you a whole bunch of temporary hit points. It used to give you plus 15, or it used to give you 15 times your Constitution score. Now it just gives you 12 times your Constitution score. So just a little bit of a nerf there. I still think that's going to be hugely beneficial. And that's the shining through. In fact, let's see if they change the text. Yep, they did there. Yep, 120% spell power. Sometimes they update these things and forget to change the text. So I have, Finger of Death, I have the Dot, I have Stricken, I have Tentacles, but I just, I don't use them a whole lot. One of the things that I do love, though, is this Steel Life Force. You cause 12d6 chaotic damage to your target and heal for 12d6 positive energy, so check this out. Boom. I just got 100 spell points, or hit points. That's free healing that I can use every 20 seconds. And that's it, and that's all. $17 grand, although I do have a 50% pot on, but I think it's over 10k without a pot. So start doing your Sands walk-ups if you don't normally do them. And thanks for watching. If you have any questions about my videos, you can respond on YouTube. And if you happen to be on Saralona, you are welcome to send me a tell.